Welcome back. We're the Transport Bandits. I'm Cheryl.
I'm Jeff, or Mr. Dimples.
And this is Mr. Bones. He's our traveling companion. And guess where we are going today? Say it.
Alaska.
We're not going to Alaska today. And guess where we are going today?
Alaska.
Stop it. All right, say we're going up the Alaska Highway. All right, we're not going to Alaska today. We won't make it today.
Oh, okay.
And guess where we are going today?
The Alaska Highway.
We're taking you up the Alaska Highway starting at mile marker 0 of the Alaska Highway here in Dawson Creek. That's where we are right now. We're not standing outside in front of the beautiful, world-famous Alaska Highway, Dawson Creek, British Columbia sign because
it's snowing like crazy and it's freezing cold and the wind is blowing.
Take a look at this. There's the world-famous Alaska Highway sign, mile marker 0 here in Dawson Creek. And we are going to start on the Alaska Highway this afternoon. The last time you saw us, we had traveled from Great Falls, Montana up through Alberta. We went to the world's greatest outdoor store, so check that video out. And we saw
the giant beaver, and it was awesome.
The world's largest beaver that was, so go back and watch the video prior to this one. So on the end of the last video, we said we are going to call it a day here at Dawson Creek.
That's not the case.
That's not the case. We have decided, since it was only like 4 o'clock, we've got hours left on our clock.
We got plenty of daylight.
We're kind of excited to go ahead and start, even though it's snowing. And
which makes it kind of more exciting.
Yeah, it's Alaska.
It is Alaska.
It's Alaska-y, right? Yeah. To be snowing and kind of blustery outside.
Exactly.
Yep, even though we're in British Columbia and not Alaska.
Hey, baby, we're in the North Country.
North, the great white North. We're in the hinterlands.
Yeah.
We're in the hinterlands?
Yeah,
what is a hinterland?
I don't know, but we're going to be going through the Yukon.
Oh, yeah, we will make it to the Yukon, but probably not on this video, because we are going to show you all the highlights of the Alaska Highway. We don't know how far we will make it or how much footage I will get or what we're going to stop and see.
We're just going to play a bear and see what happens.
But you're going to come along with us, right? So let's go. Right. Let's start right now from mile 0 on the Alaska Highway. I've got my Milepost book with me, which looks like this, and it tells me everything that is up the Alaska Highway, and every road for that matter in the North Country, mile by mile.
Down to the 10th of a mile.
It will tell me, like at mile marker 101, there's the town of 101.
Yeah, it's also, it'll tell you if there's a culvert at
it tells you if there's a signpost, or if there's a beaver lodge, or who knows?
It's ridiculous.
It's the greatest book in the history of mankind. Check it out in the link description below if you want one, thinking about coming up the Alaska Highway.
Something great's going to happen now.
What's going to happen?
I'm setting my tripometer to 0.
We're at mile marker 0.
At mile marker 0 of the Alaska Highway.
Don't forget to set your tripometer at mile marker 0 for the Alaska Highway here in Dawson Creek, British Columbia. All right, let's go. Let's see how far we can get. I think we can make it to 101. 101.
101.
101. 101. Mile marker 101.
All right, we're going.
Let's go. Let's see if we can make it there. Hey, Jeff. That store is no frills.
No frills.
No frills.
That's my kind of store, but I don't think you'd like it very much.
No frills.
You like a lot of frills.
It depends on what type of frills they are. I'm not a lacy girl, so not that kind of frills. I like spills, chills, and thrills, and frills.
There's my last chance for steak.
Mr. Mike's Steakhouse. It may be your last chance for steak till you get to Anchorage.
We'll get some steak somewhere.
By the way, we are delivering a unit all the way to Anchorage, Alaska. If you haven't watched the previous videos leading up to this video, we have picked up a 27-foot toy hauler going from Goshen, Indiana, all the way to Anchorage, Alaska, up the Alaska Highway. Now, the mileage from Goshen, Indiana, that we are getting paid for to deliver to Anchorage, Alaska, is 3,919 miles. It's going to take a few days. We don't know exactly what to expect. We have driven the Alaska Highway with a camper before, back in 2005. Me and Jeff took our personal camper up through here. And as we leave Dawson Creek now, the roads seem to be in fairly good condition. When we took it, there was great stretches that were unpaved, but I hear now that it is completely paved all the way to Alaska. And we may encounter moose, bear, elk, who knows? But we sure hope to. Fuel here in Dawson Creek is 207.9 per liter. There's 3.75 liters per gallon. So you can do the math on that. We just passed a sign that says from October 30th through April 1st, you must have winter tires and you must carry chains. But it's May, so we're good to go. We hope. The Alaska Highway was considered an engineering marvel, one of the largest engineering marvels since the Panama Canal. It was started to connect Alaska to the lower 48 in World War II and was opened in 1942, and at that time it was 1,700 miles long. Since then it has been shortened to just 1,387 miles. The Alaska Highway starts in Dawson Creek, British Columbia at mile 0 and ends at Delta Junction, Alaska. The attack on Pearl Harbor and beginning of the Pacific Theater in World War II, coupled with Japanese threats to the West Coast and North America and the Aleutian Islands, changed priorities for Canada and the United States. And then on February 6, 1942, the construction of the Alaska Highway was approved by the United States Army, and the project received authorization from the U.S. Congress and President Roosevelt, and proceeded just 5 days after approval. Canada agreed to allow construction as long as the United States bore the full cost, and that the road and other facilities in Canada be turned over to Canadian authority after the war would end. It proved unimportant for the military because 99% of the supplies to Alaska during the war were sent by sea from San Francisco and Seattle. The road was originally built mostly by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers as a supply route during World War II. In 1942, the Army Corps of Engineers assigned more than 10,000 men, about a third of whom were black soldiers. The Army commandeered equipment of all kinds, including local riverboats, railway locomotives, and housing. Although it was completed on October 28, 1942, the highway was not usable by a general vehicle until 1943. Even then, there were many steep grades, it was really poorly surfaced, switchbacks all over the place, and you had to descend hills, and there were very, very few guardrails. And bridges, well, that was a whole different matter, which progressed during 1942 from pontoon bridges that would ferry you across the rivers to temporary log bridges, which were replaced with steel bridges eventually. Some 100 miles of the route between Burwash Landing and Coderm, Yukon became nearly impossible in May and June as the permafrost thawed. No longer protected by a layer of delicate vegetation, a corduroy road was built to restore the route. And corduroy still underlays old sections of the highway in the area today. The Burwash-Coderm section, however, is still a problem, and the new highway built there in the late 1990s continues to experience severe frost heaves. Alright, we've got steep grades ahead. Slide area. Be prepared to stop. Okay, we're coming up on the Peace River Bridge. This was one of the major goals in 1942 of the Army Corps of Engineers, to make a bridge going across the Peace River. This is a metal grate bridge. And in 1942, they had 2 ferries that would carry 10 trucks an hour. Welcome to Fort St. John. In 1942, Fort St. John was just a town of maybe 200. They started construction on the Alaska Highway. It became home to over 6,000 Army Corps engineers and was the largest of the dozen or so construction camps along the highway. Alaska Highway was opened to the traveling public in 1948, which attracted more vacationers and homesteaders to this area. In 1951, Fort St. John's well number 1 hit gas, and it began a huge oil and gas industry in this region, making it the oil capital of British Columbia, or Energetic City as it was referred to. Gasoline here at Petro-Canada is selling for $1.89.9 per liter. Okay, the road conditions are deteriorating. Okay, we are coming into 101, or Historical Mile 101 on the Alaska Highway, but the town name is 101, W-O-N-O-W-O-N. Basically, only the thing up here is a Petro-Canada, right here, Jeff, and the 101 Lodge. There's the camp for workers there. Okay, so there was no parking at 101. We tried to get around in the parking lot, but it was immense mud and potholes the size of small lakes. So we are going to head on down about 10 more miles. There's a paved turnout, and we think there might be a parking space at the paved turnout. So we'll just try the next space. We have stopped at some little litter bin rest area here, past about 14 miles past 101, and take a look at this. This is crazy stuff. I want to know, why is it going all the wrong direction? The ice. Look at this. Look. It's all going north towards the front of the truck. That's just insane craziness right there. It's 10:30 at night in May. Documenting just how dirty the trailer is. It's about 10:30 p.m. Yeah, she's pretty dirty. Look at that. That's the handle of the trailer. It's at night. I'm out here with the bears, wolves, moose, deer, whatever. There's the moon up above. And it's still light outside, this light. It's really crazy. Look at these ice crystals. Are just insane. Good night, everybody. We are coming up to the town of Pink Mountain. Okay, we're here at Sasquatch Crossing. Mr. Bones is not too sure about this place.
Good morning.
Good morning. We are at Sasquatch Crossing. This is mile marker 144 on the Alaska Highway. We spent the night on some little pull off or whatever.
We found a pull out by the road. And you know, we didn't get dragged out of the truck by Sasquatch last night. We didn't get eaten by a bear or trampled by a moose. So
we're doing good.
We're doing pretty good today.
I would have stopped here to go into the store here at Sasquatch Crossing. It's really cute, but it's closed. So, and the sun is out. Look, it's not snowing any longer. It's a gorgeous day on the Alaska Highway. Take a look around here. Here's the road that's going back here that we'll take this way.
That's where you fuel up over there, that above ground tank.
We don't know what today's got in store for us.
Nope.
But you're going to come along with us, so let's go.
All right, this is how you get fuel here at Sasquatch Crossing. They have a generator going to run the pump. And there's the pump. And your fuel. They have DEF here.
All right, let's hit the Alaska Highway. Okay, so since Sasquatch Crossing was closed, we did not top off at Pink Mountain or Sasquatch Crossing. We were advised to top off there. However, the people who were advising us, I don't think had the huge auxiliary tank. So we've got a lot of fuel still left. So we're going to just pass up that place and go on down the road and get it at a later junction, right? Because we have plenty of fuel left. That's the advantages of having the auxiliary fuel tank.
Yeah, but I don't know where we're going to get it.
So from Sasquatch Crossing here at mile 144 of the Alaska Highway, we have 1,143 more miles to go to make it to Alaska. Talk Alaska. Okay, we've got Suicide Hill coming up. Of 9% grade right after Sasquatch Crossing, about 5 miles afterwards. And let's see what this 9% grade looks like. We are really in the wilderness now. We don't have any cell phone signal. No, our phones don't work other than, you know, what they're meant to do. But you can't do any kind of socializing or whatever, so you are completely unplugged. I'm going to take this time to tell you that I am using the Milepost book. This is what it looks like. It breaks down the Alaska Highway and pretty much every road in the Northwest Territories, the Yukon, British Columbia, and Alberta, mile by mile, even down to the 10th of a mile. It will tell you what's along the road. That way you can plan your trip. If there's a pull-off, a litter bin, a rest area, a store, a gas, what there is to see, the attractions. It is invaluable if you're going to travel the Alaska Highway. I'll put a link in the description below so you can click on that if you want to order it for yourself. Here's what this looks like. It's got all the different, there's the Dalton Highway around Fairbanks, Glen and Talk, the Klondike Loop, Delta Junction, the Alaska Highway mile by mile. I'll give you a lowdown on how this works. Okay, so if you see here, you'll set your speedometer at Dawson Creek, and you'll see the words DC and then 184.5. Well, from Dawson Creek, you set your odometer and your trip odometer, and 184.5 miles from Dawson Creek. It'll even say like distance marker, northbound shows Prophet River is 62 miles. And then it'll tell you like a paved rest area with litter bins, toilets, picnic table, solar powered lights. Caution, watch for moose on the highway, especially at dusk. Watch for bears, grizzly, and black bears alongside the road. This is a great, great book. Not just for the Alaska Highway. This will have all the different highways, all the way from Alaska, Yukon, British Columbia, Alberta, and the Northwest Territories. We are thinking about taking the Cassiar Highway back down after we have delivered in Anchorage. So we've got a great map here, distances, all the descriptions. It'll tell us all of the attractions along the way, and mile by mile postage. It will even tell you about historical signs that you might not stop at to read. You can read them right here in the book. Also comes with an awesome map. I am a map reader, a paper map reader. I love paper maps, showing you all of the roads and the topography so you can plan your trip. Right now, we're at 204, and it says that the highway will descend to Beaver Creek. And we are descending towards Beaver Creek right now. My milepost says that we are going to descend right here to Boogie Creek Bridge. And I believe Boogie Creek Bridge is going to be right there in that dip. Yep, Boogie Creek Bridge is right there, because it said so in my Milepost book. Let's take a look at the river. Boogie Creek. The road has deteriorated quite a bit. We're hitting patches of nothing but gravel. We really don't have any kind of painted lines. And as you can see, we're coming up on where the pavement just ends, and there will be a big patch of gravel right here. So anybody who might be on a motorcycle, be careful of that. And let me tell you right now, do not plan on a 65-mile-per-hour trip. No, that's not going to happen on this road. You need to slow it down. Well, you are forced to slow it down. The Milepost book tells me that there are great views of Mesa-like mountain, Mount Yakachi, to the north, and that's where we're headed. There it is. Giant black bear in the top of the tree. I couldn't get my phone out fast enough. We can't turn around. There's no place to turn around to go get a better picture, but it was cool. We are coming up on Fort Nelson, and this is the bridge over the Muskwa River. This is the lowest point on the Alaska Highway. It's the Muskwa River right there. And that elevation was 1,000 feet. Into Fort Nelson, we're going to top off with fuel. We believe it to be $1.99 per liter. We'll see. Okay, it does say 199.9 for diesel. Okay, so we have stopped here in Fort Nelson to get something to eat at Boston Pizza.
You know, there's Boston pizzas all over Canada.
A Canadian company with an American name, founded by a Greek sailor serving Italian food. Here it is. It's awesome. It's really good. This is the 7-cheese ravioli. And it's Pasta Tuesday, so they split it up for us. We got one serving. It was Pasta Tuesday for $13.99 Canadian dollars. It's like 10 bucks American, so it's not very expensive. Okay, you know I was documenting all the mud and ice that was on the camper. Look at the camper. We have a self-cleaning camper. All right, we've left Fort Nelson and headed into the Northern Rockies area of British Columbia. So we've got some mountains to climb coming up, and the road surface seems to be chip seal now with some construction going on through here.
All right, there is one thing I like about Canadian roads. This is pretty much goes for all over Canada. They keep a very wide area clear on either side of the road. You know, so you can see animals coming. I wish they would do that in the States.
It's warmed up really nicely. It says it's 48 degrees outside, but remember, 48 degrees this far north is like 70 degrees in the south because the sun is hitting you in a different angle. Okay, we are going to start our descent, and we just had a bit of a scare because on that rock cut back there, the rocks started coming down as we were right underneath them. I told Jeff to go, 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 because the rocks were coming down on a little bit of a landslide or rock slide a little bit. So that was very scary. There's the road over there. Look at this view we have. As you can see, road conditions vary. Please use caution. And the pavement now comes to an end. We're going to stop at the Tetsa River Lodge. It says it's open. There is quite a bit of snow here. We're stopping at the Tetsa River Outfitters right here. We're going to try one of those famous cinnamon buns. You know, the Alaska Highway is pretty famous for cinnamon buns. When we came up here in 2005, we did a lot of stops where you try the different cinnamon buns.
So this will be our first stop this time.
Let's try this one.
We're not really doing the cinnamon bun trail.
Not this time.
Try one of those.
All right, let's go in. Hey, puppy dog.
Tell me, little friend.
Oh, hello, little doggy. Look at all this cool stuff.
How are you guys?
We're doing great.
What can I do for you?
We stopped in to try one of your cinnamon buns.
Hey, one or two? This big. For you.
Yeah.
Probably one will be good.
Alright, so if you guys didn't know this, the Alaska Highway is famous for its cinnamon buns. Every place has got them, and every place, I would say it's kind of a competition.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cinnamon bun
trail,
yeah.
like a competition for it. So it's one of the few luxuries you get on that place.
Between the 100 miles. Here's the cinnamon bun from Tetsa River Lodge.
Looks pretty good too. It's heavy. That's a good sign.
Let's see it. There you go.
Now, if a cinnamon bun weighs, if it's heavy, that's good. If you get a cinnamon bun that's as light as air, that's probably not going to be good.
All right, take a bite. Well, verdict?
Very good.
Pulling out of Tetsa River Outfitters, we heard a loud thump. Sounded bad. Let's take a look.
So, here's what happened. I've never seen this before.
Oh no.
The Alaska Highway has broken the pin that holds my hitch. Luckily, I did pack a new one.
We do have another pin for the hitch. Wow, it really did a number on that. Luckily, we are carrying 2 extra hitch pins. So I think we don't have any damage whatsoever, but it's pretty crazy. Okay, we're done. It's 15 minutes later. All we had to do is pull forward, put the hitch back into the truck, and hook it back up. So we're good to go. All right, we have a metal grading bridge, and it looks like they're cleaning the bridge. Look at this scenery. It's awesome. Alright, we're at Summit Lake. We need to be careful for sheep. There's the Summit Cafe.
All abandoned.
It's abandoned. I believe that to be Summit Lake. Well, that's why the creek is down. The lake is frozen. But man, that's gorgeous. Take a look at that. That's crazy beautiful. I love this job. Can you believe we're getting paid to see this? Hey Jeff, you've been sitting over there quiet for a little while. What you thinking about?
I was thinking about that big beaver we saw yesterday.
We saw the world's largest beaver. Take a look at this. We've made it to Toad River. And this is Toad River Lodge, a popular stopping place along the Alaska Highway. Okay, let's go into Toad River Lodge. The Milepost said they had the world's largest collection of hats here. Let's check it out. Well, they do have some hats.
So they've got some hats. They got a few, but this certainly isn't the world's largest collection of hats. I probably have more hats than this.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Yes, it does. And of course, Jeff is just right at home talking with the locals here, back there. Okay, so we just come out of Toad River, and Jeff was talking to the locals down there, and you know, we weren't planning on taking the Cassiar Highway back down through British Columbia after we left Alaska.
We may still do it. I'll get a few more opinions. That guy told me that people in four-wheel drive trucks with chains on all four tires are having a difficult time getting up through there.
He said they were getting stuck. So we will make that decision when the time comes, because it's still going to be days before we even get to Anchorage. But I can hardly take my eyes off this scenery.
You know, I'm sure somebody else could do it quicker, but we're the bandits. You know?
We're doing it slow.
If we see a
caution caribou crossing sign,
you know, we're going to stop at Toad River.
Yeah, this is the fun side of RV transport.
Come on.
Why wouldn't you stop at a place called Toad River?
We're going to stop and see the big beaver.
Yes. So we're just enjoying ourselves. Like I said, I can't believe we get paid to do this. This is a paid vacation right here. And you know, the estimated delivery time at the top of the BL?
It's like 3 days ago.
At the top of the BOL?
Yeah.
It was like tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll be a couple days later.
But that is an estimated time.
Estimated time. And it's not a hot load. They don't need it there like that. So we are just taking our time and enjoying the sights.
He knows I'm on my way with it.
Yep.
He's probably going to be wondering where it's at.
Amazing. It just blows our mind with its beauty. I think even Mr. Bones is enjoying this ride. At the Double G service, one of the transporters asked us if we stopped in here to say hi to Jack for him, so we are going to extend that privilege if Jack is here. That's Sam and Charlie, the dog, which is actually called Marty, and we just had a great conversation with him here.
There's some characters on this highway.
There really are. It was really fun. And,
me and Cheryl, we fit right in.
Yeah, we're like family already. Say bye, Charlie. Okay, so that was a fun stop. Jack wasn't there. So if David watches our videos, sorry David, Jack wasn't there to say hi to. But they were certainly some fun. They were cooking out some ribs, just chilling out right here at Muncho Lake.
18 hours at 140. That's what the ribs go for.
18 hours at 140 degrees. All right. Good to know. All right, let's hit Muncho Lake. So we are coming up on Muncho Lake. This is normally like a bright, brilliant blue lake, but it's all frozen over for the most part. This is a very highly concentrated wildlife area. However, everybody is telling us that the stone sheep, bears, moose, and stuff are not quite out yet roaming around. They are still up into the trees since it is, it's not cold outside. It's 58. It's a beautiful day, but it's still very wintry as they had snow all day yesterday, but it's gone today. But that is stunning. Northern Rockies Lodge. That's a pretty place. We've seen a lot of bison poop or scat on the side of the road. Still no bison, but we're still looking. All right, all these little dark spots you're seeing right there, bison poop. It's a bear, it's a bear. It's a bear. All right, we have a bear, a big black bear right there, crossing the road. I'll see if I can zoom in. So we didn't get bison, but we got a bear. I'll take that any day. Bison. Look at this big boy. We're just going to pull over right here. We're not getting out. Wow. Look at him. Okay. Don't get him too close because he might jump up. Watch behind you. All right, big boy. Looks like we got some more bison.
It's real convenient too because they're right by the bison.
Caution bison.
And not only do we have bison, but we got a baby bison.
We have a baby bison score! Oh, look how cute it is. There's one there. There's one right here. Mr. Bones is checking that out.
Yep, there's 4 big ones and 1 baby. Well, here comes the baby.
There's the baby. They're just going to hang out in the road there.
That's okay.
This is the most traffic we've seen on the entire Alaska Highway. Pretty much. All right here. How did you like that? We brought it to you, Transport Bandits, baby bison on the Alaska Highway.
Wild baby bison.
That's awesome. We are 2 miles away from Liard Hot Springs on the Alaska Highway. Hey Jeff, was that cool or what?
It was awesome. There in a very short span of time, we saw a bear and bison.
I love it. I love the Alaska Highway. You've got to come up here, guys, and get paid to do so. Apply at Synergy. Put our names down.
Yeah, they come up here.
And then you can run up here and see that. It's awesome.
It is.
All right, where are we headed, Jeff?
Liard Hot Springs.
Liard Hot Springs is next. So we are going to take a dip in the Liard Hot Springs Provincial Park Hot Springs Pool. All right, let's go to Liard Hot Springs. That's the fun side of RV transport. Oh, cool bridge. Oh, very narrow bridge. This is the Liard River. Okay, we are coming up on mile 477, Liard River Hot Springs. Right here, Provincial Park and Campground. This is open year-round. Adults are $5 for the entire day. Not bad at all. Camping fees, if we want to camp here, is $26.
That's Canadian.
That's Canadian, yes. $5. $5 Canadian? That's like $3 to get in.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's more like $3.85.
Is that what it is? I have no idea. Let's go for a dip.
All right.
We're
So
here.
we made it. Liard Hot Springs.
Cool.
It's awesome.
All right, let's go for a dip.
So tonight, instead of smelling like sweat funk, I'll smell like rotten eggs.
You rotten eggs.
That'll make her happy.
Let's go. All right, now we get to walk down this pathway.
We get to see some ducks. Hey,
Yeah.
this better be a walk and not a hike.
This is a walk. There's a Canada goose and a mallard.
Yeah, so no mosquitoes out here this time. The last time I was here, like 17 years ago, and the mosquitoes were so bad that on the way back, I thought I was going to have a blood transfusion. But fortunately, I didn't have to walk all the way back. The mosquitoes carried me part of the way.
There were a lot of mosquitoes, but we were here like in June 19th or something like that, just after my birthday.
Yeah, and they're big.
They were huge.
Like 4 of them.
So many mosquitoes. But it's May now, so it's gorgeous out here, and there are no mosquitoes whatsoever.
Yeah,
It's the perfect time.
it's awesome. So if you guys come out here in the summertime, bring you a shotgun with bird shot in it, because you're going to need it for the mosquitoes. Make it a turkey load.
This walk is about, I think she said it was like 700 meters to the hot springs. Not far.
Which is right at my limit.
It's a little further.
Yeah, turns out 700 meters may be past my limit.
It's an easy walk. All right, here we are at the Liard River Hot Springs. Okay, here it is. Awesome. It's beautiful. Okay, it's time to get in. How is it? Awesome. Awesome, I can't wait. Let's get in. How is it, Jeff?
It's fantastic.
Really? Is the water really nice?
Yeah, it's a lot warmer than I thought it would.
Awesome. It
Yes,
is.
I will smell like rotten eggs.
It does smell like the, the hot spring smell, which is the sulfur smell. But this is really, really beautiful. I really love it. Okay, it's time to say goodbye to Liard Hot Springs and head on the road. Whoa, 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 they're not gonna even move. Oh, wow. Get on the road, snow geese. Okay, so we just left Liard Hot Springs about 20 minutes ago, and it's still plenty light outside even though it's like 8 o'clock at night. Tonight's dinner is going to consist of uber grape. It's grape jelly and peanut butter all in one. It's the only way we can have a peanut butter jelly sandwich because we don't have to refrigerate the jelly because we don't carry a cooler with us. So I know that sounds crazy. Why don't they carry a cooler with them? I know. Don't ask me. We just don't. That's just another thing we got to carry around with us. Anyway, uber grape and jelly, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and honey barbecue. I don't know how many bison we've seen now. Oh, there's a baby. Watch out, Jeff. All right, we got one right in the middle of the road. He is saying, "This is my territory." We got a bear right there. Hey, what do you think about seeing all those bears and bison?
It's been amazing.
More bison than we could ever count.
And big bears.
Yeah, that was a humongous mama bear. It's beautiful. It's like 9 o'clock at night here. It's midnight back at home. And the sun has not set yet. So we're continuing on towards the Yukon. But we are like 100 or so miles away from any town. No signal whatsoever. It's remote.
Yeah, we're definitely out here.
Remote.
We are
like,
what they call unplugged.
Completely unplugged. But this is an amazing trip. Absolutely gorgeous. It's been a wonderful day. Lighting is so magnificent out. It's twilight. It's just really beautiful. We don't know how far we'll get tonight, but we're getting really close to the Yukon territory, aren't we? Another 60, 70 miles, we'll be in the Yukon.
We'll be close to Watson Lake when we stop tonight.
Yeah, we'll have the Watson Lake signpost for us tomorrow.
Yeah.
That'll be on the next video. We're going to try and make it almost to the Yukon tonight. And if you like what you've seen so far, we're the Transport Bandits. I'm Cheryl and this is Jeff, and you want to hit that like button.
Subscribe.
And you want to hit that notification bell, because the notification bell, in case you don't know, okay, it's going to allow you to be notified. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe to our channel or anything, but it allows you to be notified when we have a new video up, the next video coming up, or
when we go live.
We are going to go live from Alaska. It'll give you a notification for when we go live.
Hey.
Well, we've made it to the Yukon. Almost.
Almost.
The actual road of the Alaska Highway will cross the border of the British Columbia and Yukon territory 6 times.
Yeah, I can see the Yukon from here.
Yes.
I'm parked 50 feet from the Yukon.
We are. But then the official welcome to the Yukon sign is just a few miles down the road.
Yeah, but I'm parked 50 feet from the Yukon.
Yeah, we are. But we're going to call it a night here. We hope that you have enjoyed your ride along the Alaska Highway from Dawson Creek to the Yukon. Tomorrow, we've got the signpost forest, Watson Lake.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And we got other things. We might even make it all the way to Alaska tomorrow.
Who knows?
I have no idea. Anyway, if you like this video, please press that like sign. Oh, and hit that notification bell.
And you know what to do. You need to subscribe. It costs you nothing. It makes her happy. And in turn, that makes me happy.
What do you think about today?
Man, it's been great. We've seen buffalo and bears and moose and
we had a
hot springs.
Dip in the hot springs was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching our video.
Smell a little bit funny now.
We all do. We're in the Yukon.
Well, it's the hot springs. They smell like sulfur.
Yeah.
And rotten eggs.
No, we don't smell bad at all. But this is some remote territory. We have had no signal, cell phone signal, almost all day long. And I don't know if we'll have much tomorrow either. But it's been awesome. It's been cool. I love this job. Okay, so that's going to be it for us tonight. And catch us on the next video, because we are traveling to Alaska along the Alaska Highway.
We'll be in the Yukon tomorrow.
Yukon territory.
We'll say hello to Yukon Cornelius for you.
Yeah, Yukon Cornelius. All right, have a good night, everybody. We love you all. Please leave a comment below. I much appreciate it. And that's it for the Transport Bandits. We'll see you in the morning.
Transport Bandits out.